Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. So I had this idea, I'm not sure where it exactly came from, but I wanted to do this video and I wanted to feel like fancy about it. I wanted to have my rollers in, I'm wearing a robe. I just wanted the whole vibe to be leveled up. And I also thought to go along with that, let's use drugstore makeup that just has a leveled up kind of fancy feel, high quality feel. And there's a lot of drugstore makeup that I absolutely love that probably looks kind of cheap, but actually works amazingly well. But today I'm going to be using stuff that I think really has that luxurious feel, but it is a drugstore product. My robe, by the way, I've had this one for years. It's from Ulta. Probably about 10 years ago, Ulta gave out these little like ruffle sleeve robes. Free gift, I guess, I don't know. So here's where I'm going to start. And this is just a product, generally speaking, I've been loving lately. It's from Catrice and it's their new Soft Glam Filter Fluid. I used this in a recent video. My shade is 20 light medium. It's a lot like the Hollywood Flawless filter. I feel like it's a little more subtle than a lot of the glowy primers that are out there, but there's something about the glass bottle, there's something about the big doe foot, buck foot applicator, like I just feel fancy putting it on. Doe foot applicators, to me, will always feel more fancy than squeeze tubes and like little jars or pots. So you can see I've swiped that on. If you're not familiar with this type of a product, it's almost like a subtle liquid highlighter mixed in with a little bit of a foundation or something. It ends up coming across glowy on the skin, but it's like it's rooted in more of a skin tone base as opposed to just being a shimmery metallic highlight. And stuff like this could be worn on top of makeup too. You can use it in a variety of ways. You can mix it in with foundation, like swipe it on as you swipe on an actual foundation and let the two literally mix together on your skin. But I kind of like having stuff like this on as a base, and I think that looks really pretty. The drugstore foundation that I chose that I think feels pretty luxe. I think the look is nice, the packaging, you know, anytime we can be working with a pump, absolutely, that levels it up. But also the formula, it kind of reminds me of a few different high-end foundations where they're thin, they're light, they manage to look healthy, radiant, luminous on the skin, but yet they're still covering. So I'm talking about Revlon Illuminance Skin Caring Foundation. It has the 5% squalane hyaluronic acid. My shade in this is 213. So we're just going to pump out a full pump and dot that around on the skin. And our primer will give us a little added glow, but this foundation on its own definitely carries some radiance too. And I can just continue to use that same brush. I can take those bigger dots that I've spotted around and I'm kind of like stippling it out. Kind of been doing this more lately, taking dots, using my large end, stippling it around, like I'm definitely not full on blended, but I've just made it all take up more space and then really applying more pressure. Now we're on purpose blending. See, isn't that a pretty finish right on the top of the skin there? It's making me think maybe a little bit of my Glossier foundation. If you've been sick, if you're wanting to restore that glow to the skin, I think this looks so lovely. Absolutely great. Now for concealer from the drugstore, I wasn't sure what felt fancy. I could pick several that I was liking the effect of course, like I thought performed well on the skin, but did it have a real like luxurious vibe? I'm not sure. But I kind of do feel that way about this one from L'Oreal, their new True Match Radiant Serum Concealer. It's got the 1.5% hyaluronic acid and caffeine. I've got the shade Light C1, but I kind of think about it with the applicator. It's a little bit different. They've got this teardrop shaped applicator. It actually looks like a bit of a high heel when you look at it that way. Don't you think? It's like a little shoe. That's not a doe foot, that's like a Barbie foot applicator. But I'm gonna apply some of this. This is a really thin and light concealer. I'm hoping it will do enough for me today because I do feel like I'm kind of dark down in there. But we will see. I'm gonna get all around the nose. This is just gonna have to do it all today. So I'm taking my small end here. I'm getting in my inner corner. I'm pulling it around. There we go. The fullest coverage, she is not, but definitely doing something for me. Was it earlier this week? I kind of made my commitment, like I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm really trying to have an on-purpose, positive mindset week, letting go of anxious thoughts and fears, and I feel I have done a really good job with this week. I'm very proud of myself. Let me know if any of you all have been doing it this week too, but I just feel like a lot of it lies in how you start your day and kind of not letting your day run away with you, but you deciding how it's gonna be. So I've just been deciding and just defaulting my head. Like I wake up in the morning and I mean, so many of us probably first get up, we are tired, and it's like, oh, what's the first thing I gotta do now? Or we just get rolling with the last thing we were worried about or anxious about or whatever. I'm just trying to roll with the idea that this is gonna be the best day ever. Just plan on it being the absolute best day. This did pretty well, this concealer, by the way. She's thin. You can look up really close at my under eye and not really see a lot of makeup-iness. So that I like. The formulas on the skin right now are working really well together, I would say. For loose powder, there's another thing where maybe I didn't immediately have a lot of things coming to mind, like, oh, that's a really luxurious drugstore loose powder. When I was crafting this video, you know, the stuff that first popped in was like this certain lip product or that certain eye thing, but it wasn't really necessarily the loose powder. But I will say one of my most thoughtfully packaged and designed loose powders that I have is the e.l.f. Halo Glow, because they actually care to do the little sifter thing, okay? That levels it up in my opinion. You know, I absolutely love my Maybelline Fit Me, my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent, but it's true, you open those up and it's just, everything's flying everywhere. There is absolutely no containment. And here, you know, you can slide it, you can tap some out, you can slide it back over. If you were gonna travel with a loose powder, like if I was deciding I'm going somewhere, I need to take something in my bag, I'd probably take this one because it just has that ability to be contained. So I'm going to take some of that with my hot pink triangle powder puff, matching my little robe situation here. And we're just going to dab that in on the under eye because we need some setting powder. And I thought I just saw like a, maybe I'm just getting paranoid about kids showing up at the door because that so often happens, but I thought something just flew past my door. It's kind of spooky, and there's a big full moon out right now. Definitely did not get in the way of my sleep though, but when I came in here this morning, like it was shining right through the makeup room window. And yesterday we had some thunderstorms, which was kind of nice. I haven't heard thunder in a while. Nothing severe, but just, you know, garden variety thunderstorms. Okay, I'm adding a little more because I want to be bright. This is the light pink shade, have I told you that? And it's very subtle on the pink tone. Like, you're looking at it, you're thinking, if nobody told me this was pink, I would just think it was probably translucent. But yes, I've got that all over T-zone and under eye. I can swipe away any extra. Oh, hi, Rosie. I'm kind of using this brush and I'm seeing if I can keep from doing any additional powder on the skin just by maybe dabbing this brush around that has some powder on it. I don't know. I think I need a little something down there. Well, here's a powder that definitely feels luxurious to touch the powder. The L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. This stuff's got some buttery creaminess and it doesn't take a lot when you use it. Like if you're just wanting to kind of add a little additional smoothness to the skin. Like I'm getting some on, I'm tapping off excess. Just a second, Rosie. She's scratching at the girl's door. Just dabbing it over. You know, it can function great as a powder foundation, but a lot of times what I do is just end up going over the top of things. And it definitely has a luxe feeling smoothness. Kind of makes me think a little bit of my one size pressed powder foundation. Next couple of things I believe feel fancy, not for the packaging. Like the packaging is honestly very standard, very basic, but the formula inside feels luxurious to me. And I'm talking about Milani's new little creams here. Well, they've had their Cheek Kiss blushes out for a while, but now they've got Cheek Kiss cream bronzers. I've got Spicy Season here. And with the blushes, I'd recently used Merlot Moment, but I was sent some in PR. Really neat PR package, by the way. They like made their own little newspaper looking thing, and it was cool. But I think I'll use Blushing Berry today. This bright pop that's the exact shade of my robe. And I've always kind of thought like their cream blushes were all right, but I feel like that texture in the bronzer is like even better. It's very thin, very, very easy to work with. So yeah, I'm taking this Spicy Season shade and I'm just dipping my Sephora 56 brush straight into it. If you wanted to put it on your finger first and drag it across, like there's just a nice, easy, manageable thinness. And to me, it feels kind of leveled up, kind of advanced. So you can just dip in and go right in here. And again, it's a thinness of the cream that's making it easy, but yet there is a nice pigment level. And I think there's like 2 shades lighter than this and 1 shade darker. See how easily that came together? And it seems to do so well on top of, you know, any base thing we got going. Easy, quick. Building a little bit more over here. I think I got kind of a light amount. Now I'll take the extra under here. But it's a high-end feeling formula to me. I like it. And it's kind of causing me to rediscover some of the blushes because I had the Nude Kiss one. I'd had that for quite a while. I more recently bought Merlot Moment. And now I've got their other ones, which they have this bright coral and the blushing berry. The berry is what I'm going to use today. Into that. Easy blending, looks good on the skin. If you could see the surface of my skin, guys, it looks so natural right now. I mean, we have been using that glowy primer. We've got the Illuminance foundation from Revlon on. Our concealer is relatively lightweight. Yes, we've set a little bit here and there, but it hasn't been too much. Now let's go in with this beautiful blush. So blushing berry, I'm gonna go into it with my other Sephora 56 brush, and I'll dab just a little back and forth. Look at this like hot pink that's coming to play, but it's shearing out. Again, there's a thinness and a lightness in these cream products that makes them blend with ease. And I like the bright colors that they've put out. Look at that. It almost looks like a sheared out stain a little bit on the cheeks. Adding more over here and blending. Sometimes the challenge is just knowing when to stop. Do I need to build more? Do I want more? Even looking up really close at this, like I can see nothing has broken down underneath. Nothing has changed in my coverage. And you wouldn't absolutely have to blend this stuff with a brush. I just think I get a nice evenness when I use one, but you could use your fingers too. That's an option. I'm pleased. I'm impressed. I feel like if you know me and you know my channel, you know what highlighter I'm gonna pull in right now. I feel like this is pure luxury and fancy vibes coming from Revlon. Their Skin Lights highlighter, the Daybreak Glimmer shade. Here's the thing. I think when we've got textures put in products and when we've got any kind of baked swirl also for that matter put in a product, it's fancy. It's leveled up. Here they've put this texture in. It also has an overall like ripple in it. But then let's not get past the fact that it's just a really good quality product as is, even without the cuteness. Okay, so we're just dabbing in with our Real Techniques setting brush. And we're getting that perfect little highlight, which I'm kind of using it on the subtle end because I know my skin's got a little juiciness to it today, okay? I don't need loads and loads of highlighter on, but I just get a little bit and I can be really happy with the surface of the skin and the way everything's coming together. Revlon Skin Lights, also not your cheapest highlighter from the drugstore, so there's that, but I love it and I feel like I'm gonna have it for ages. CoverGirl Priming Glow Mist, I love this stuff. I have been able to use this through sensitive skin times and just trying to add that little bit of extra hydration. It says 8-hour hydration, true clean cactus water, rose water, and vitamin C. It's for all skin types. I've enjoyed this very much. I like the mister. Nice and fine, really good fan mist. The scent is so like soothing, gentle, nice. Not like, hey, we're blasting body spray in your face. It's really good. It makes me think of a scent you might run into, I don't know if you went into some kind of expensive boutique. It's just fresh. It's a nice way to start the day. I enjoy that product. Next for my brows, I'm busting out my e.l.f. Instant Lift Waterproof Brow Pencil. And I think this feels a bit more fancy because it practically feels like a pomade in a pencil. It's a different texture from the usual. And I have it in the shade Neutral Brown. So it looks like the same packaging and it looks like the same size, but when it comes in contact with the brow, you're like, okay, there's something a little thicker happening there. There's something different. You know, I still like the regular version. It just has a drier feel, and this one feels a little bit more like, wow, something's really laying down there. And I don't feel like I usually have an issue with staying power in my brows, like, oh, I've just been needing something that lasts better than anything else I've been using. That's not often my complaint, but still, it goes in quick and it does last well. I mean, I just did a whole brow just there. And then you can take your spoolie end, which I would definitely advise because more of this product does lay down in the brow, so you want to brush it through, get it even. But I've liked that, and I feel like the formula is more advanced and different from a lot of the pencils I've used lately. And for that reason, it feels more fancy. I can't believe I've said the word fancy so many times in this video, and I haven't said, here's your one chance fancy, don't let me down. And now a kid comes out. She said, here's your one chance fancy, don't let me down. You hear me singing and thought, that there's my moment. That's when it's time to come in. It's too bright in here for her. She can't even look, but she wants to just put herself in here. You want me to draw on an eyebrow here? Happy Friday. I would say the majority of people I know have a cough right now. Everybody's coughing. There's a lot of stuff going around though, amongst the kids and the grown-ups. I'm feeling a lot better than I was last Sunday though. So I got that brow filled in. For some reason that one took me a lot longer. Might have been the singing, might have been the interruptions, I don't know. And we're just brushing on through, and you do feel like you've got hold in your brow from the pencil, which is just unusual. I'll take a little NYX Control Freak just for good measure, but I've talked about this before, how when you go over your brow after you've used that particular product, you feel like there's stuff already holding them. Kind of strange, but kind of neat. I have a theory that an all matte eye looks and feels more expensive than a shimmery eye. Are there exceptions? I'm using Milani eyeshadow primer. Of course, there would be exceptions to that, but there's just something about a smooth, all matte eye that looks so, I don't know, pulled together. That look is clean and on point, and when I think rich, I think matte on the eyes. Now, that doesn't mean I don't love some shimmer from time to time, but for this particular themed look, we're gonna go matte. And I'm pulling out what, in my opinion, is probably the highest quality drugstore matte thing outside of ColourPop's Gone Matte palette. I love that one so much, and I've really been using a lot of my ColourPop larger palettes. The price tag on those, you know, it's a great buy for what you're getting, like 35 some dollars. But I get it, that still feels like quite a bit more than just basic drugstore prices. I'm using my Milani Ungilded Most Loved Mattes today. I love this palette. I have not pulled this palette out in a while, and now is the time. The mattes are so smooth. They are so, like, exactly comparable to high-end quality for sure. So I'm excited to get into it. Is it gonna be some like wild different look for M today? Probably not, but I'm not gonna apologize for the fact that a lot of my looks are everyday looks. That's where the bulk of my content lies, and that's what I like to do, okay? I'm gonna go into salty caramel up here. It's not salted caramel, they're calling it salted caramel. Get a little bit of that on your Profusion crease brush, and we've already put our primer down, and I'm just going to start blending that into my crease. Not only the crease, but also above the crease. The shades are just so soft, but not unbearably soft, not out of control soft. And I kind of would like to see them put this palette out, but in some other color schemes, like make another Ungilded Most Loved Mattes Part 2. You know, because this is very warm, and I know not everybody's all about the warm. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure both sides are kind of built up to the same level. We're going into crease, but we're going above it too. Yes. Then I want to do Toast of the Town right next to it. And you know what we're going to do here? We're going to want to, like, kind of soften edges. It's interesting. When I tap off excess from these shades, I don't know if you can tell, but it taps off not like, oh, a bunch of particles just flew off my brush, but it taps off like a cloud. And I think it's because just the powders are very fine. And this hair, you ever been so frustrated with the hair you just want to pull it directly out of your head? We're nice and smooth there. Given the cheek and given the lip that I've pulled out, I would like to see some of the pink come into this look. I'm going to take Smell the Roses right here. There's kind of a warm pink, and I'm going to add that in, and I want to see it kind of come up. And I think because we're layering it over these like medium warm browns, it's not going to be too loud of a pink, but it's going to add a little something here. Adding it kind of to the outside and lifting up a bit, just seeing what we can do. I just realized that I don't think I've ever taken this particular shade. Like when I go to the red in this palette, I think I work it in with the browns. But what about a little bit of the red coming into a look that's going to be a little rosy. The shade is Don't Raisin Your Voice. Love a good raisin reference. And then we're just going to pat this on the outside. But I'm going to work some pink into it too in a sec. Just hang on. It's a really perfectly toned burgundy though, like the deep rusty reddish, just so good. Blending these shades is just so pleasant. I hope I've brought this back to your mind if you've forgotten about this, because it's not a brand new thing for sure. Now I want to go to No Plum Intended. So this one, pick a little of that up. Not a ton tapping off every time I tap, by the way. I'm just kind of overlapping. We're not getting like a glaringly pink thing going on, but it's showing a little bit more on the lid. Now I want more of No Plum Intended, but on the crease brush. Taking it up, and I just want smoothness, okay? I just want smooth, diffused. This crease brush is doing it so well. See what I mean? No Plum Intended is the shade. Right out in here, let it raise up. I feel like I hear a little birdie outside my window. You know what one of the cutest things is? When your cats look tired in the morning. Like when I wake up and they're thinking, man, it's early. Like you can see their little faces, like they look tired. How does a cat's face look tired? I don't know, but it's like they're slowly blinking. They're moving a little bit slow, and they know though that it's breakfast time, so they're definitely gonna be out there by their dish, but like they look tired. I think it's so cute. Really, when any animal looks tired, I think it's so cute. Okay, just big diffused color. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Mainly it's that plum shade, but we've got several shades working in together, and I like it. Taking a little smaller brush, I'm gonna take Busta Mauve right here. Yep, Milani was being funny when they named these. So a little lightness. I don't need it to be like night and day on my lid. I just want a little lightness coming in. The shades just work effortlessly together. And then the one thing I might do, I want a little bit of Cocoa Bean, our darkest brown down here, with my small pointed. I haven't even brought in small pointed yet. But I do want that to come out of the very depths of the crease. And I want to see that getting involved just a bit more, because I want some lift. See, just a little. Right into the actual crease, and then let it come up so that way you're getting some lift. An eyeliner that I have really been into lately, and I think it does feel very luxe and very well made, is this newest Physicians Formula one. Now they have put the little raindrops on the outside, which is really cool, but it's called the Eye Booster Super Slim. And I think at first I was thinking, is this going to be so slim that like the line isn't even big enough and I have to keep going over it? No, it's fine, and it's a brush tip, and it wears well, and it's easy to put on. And if you're just wanting that classic black line, I really like it. And if you're wanting to stay ultra close to the lash line, if you're practically wanting to hide your eyeliner, but you still want definition, it's really great. So we're going across, I'm lifting as I get toward the outside and doing a little wing. Right out here. See, that was so easy. And I think ease is a big quality that I think of with an expensive product. Like, I don't think of luxurious, expensive makeup and then think struggle. I think it should be an experience that is easy and enjoyable. And that's what this is. And yet, eyeliner is not always a step of the routine that I find enjoyable. So for me to say that, pretty good. See, just like that, I'm across the lash line already. So if you didn't want to wing it out, like, that's happened just that quickly. But now, you see where the eye is starting to come down? I'm not going to just follow it down, because then I'm going to lose lift. So I'm going to come straight off the top and go outward and create a triangle up from the bottom. And then fill it. And then we maintain lift, okay? It's so easy with this little guy. And it's so black. I just think they've really executed well on that. And suddenly, you know, that pretty shape of the eye has some nice framework. Okay, I am now curling my lashes, and my mascara that definitely feels high-end, that feels like a bargain for what you're getting it for, the e.l.f. Lash Extender. I've been loving this stuff. this will not smudge. It's a true tubing mascara that really, it performs, okay? Upper lashes, lower lashes won't go anywhere. With the teal cap, you know, they're wanting us to think Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions. And yeah, it's just really good. I've been using it a lot. It builds up well, it gives nice length, and it most definitely won't go anywhere on you throughout the course of a day. So here's like one quick coat there. Look at that. And I was kind of wondering, do I want to go under the eye with any shadow today? And I'm not sure I do. I kind of am liking this lift. I do think I need more blush though. I'm gonna do just a little mascara down here, but I'm not gonna do any eyeliner stuff. For the lips, I've been so impressed with these. They're the Milani Color Fetish Hydrating Lip Stains. I know I tried a couple of these on in a past video. I did receive some more in PR, and the more I've worn them, the more I realize they're a very effective, very long-wearing lip stain. So they look kind of pretty and shiny when you start, and then some of that shine will wear away, and you will have some really pretty long-lasting color. I had purchased a couple of what I felt like were deeper shades, the mauve one and the mahogany one. Enjoyed those very much. Then I recently tried the pink shade. It's called Pink About It. And that one, like all day long yesterday, I could see that color on my lips. Today I thought I would go for the one called Bitten Berry. Got this nice little applicator here, and also I love the packaging, and I love when I can see what the color is going to be on the outside of a lip product. I really enjoy that. But anyway, we're going to swipe it on. Ooh, this is going to be deep. So when you first apply it, it feels thin and wet and just really like you're kind of wondering, what's this going to be like? And I love how formed the applicator is, so I can use this dark shade, but I can get it right out to the edge. And again, first application, you're thinking, it's thin. Is this watery? Is it too watery to even wear? Like, what's going on? But then it starts to thicken. It becomes, I've said this before with lip products, but it becomes more one with the lips, okay? That shine does not feel out of control. But what will happen, you know, if I could fast forward this process for you and show you what's going to happen, here's what you've just applied. You can see the shine. Then time passes and the shine wears away, and you're left with a true to color stain. I've noticed with these ones that I've used, like the stain is true to the color you're putting on. It doesn't look like, oh, we're just gonna leave behind this hot pink stain. Sometimes stains do that, but this is looking really pretty now. I'm not scared of it. Again, it's hanging together. It's not feeling streaky whatsoever, but as you wear it, you're gonna keep having color on your lips. It feels very advanced to me. I really like that. Now, all I would say is I could go for a little more blush. And I don't know if at this stage of the game I want to go in with more cream blush, but I do have another like powder blush recommendation. And this, y'all, this definitely like goes far beyond its price in terms of how good the quality feels. Dollar Tree. Starry Precious Minerals blush. Anytime we got something kind of different going on the surface of the product, we think, okay, that's a little bit fancy, and it's not just an overspray. And this little bit deeper kind of berry color is really, really pretty. So I feel like that could be just perfect coming into this look at this point in time. Just a little bit. And I like this little glow sort of satin finish thing. Super pretty. A little bit more. Seriously though, the look feels good. It feels expensive. I'm liking the eye. I'm liking the all matteness of it. Loving this lip. All that's left to do, I think, is to take out the rollers, right? So these are my T3. It's the volumizing set. Got a little basket where I put the clips in. So some of these are like really big. Why don't I do this more? It took me like just over a minute probably to put these in. At this point in time, I flip my head over and I kind of do what I call shampoo fingers at the scalp to separate out those chunks of hair that were wrapped around rollers. Ooh, you gotta love a morning that starts with a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader head flip, right? But this is just what it fell into, guys. I mean, it's easy. Why don't I do it more? These rollers, especially with that large size, it's more about the shape of the hair, the volume from the root, than it is like creating big spiral curls, okay? There's my finished look. She's fancy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know what it is about a robe and some hot rollers, but maybe this will inspire you to do the same. Let me know in the comments section your take on any of these products. Have you tried some of these Milani staining lip colors, and what are your thoughts? Because I think they are truly impressive. So I will see you all again very soon. I love you. Bye.